What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's get a little spicy. So if you watch my reviews, you normally know I do a segment called Spicy Corner before we get into the reviews, where I basically talk about the things that I see as it pertains to the show, especially out on the blogs and, on Twitter, Instagram, and wherever else I see it in my doomsday travels. And this time for Real Housewives of Orange County, I realized I have a lot of stuff to cover. So I decided to do a standalone video. So let's get a little spicy and get into it. So first up, let's talk about these taglines, okay? Like I said, I wasn't impressed. But Jen is first up. It says this: life can be hard, but so are my abs. Girl. Okay, Jen. Next is Shannon's. Hers goes, for once, the only dogs in my life are golden retrievers. Okay, because John Jansen definitely is a dog. All right. Then you have Emily. I may not be your cup of tea, but I'm still bringing you an espresso martini. Girl, what? Honestly, Emily's not even the espresso martini girl. That's Heather. Heather is known for espresso martinis since she got back on the show, season 17. So I don't know why they would give that to Emily. And then somebody did point out made a good point on Twitter where they were like, why would her tagline be referenced around food when we know what her son is dealing with? Now, I'm not going to put that on Emily or all on Emily, mainly because we know that the girls don't oftentimes get to pick their taglines. I always tell people this because some people get mad at the girls about their taglines, but I'm like, unless you come to production with a tagline, they normally give you a bunch of like statements to say as your tagline, and then they pick it for you. So I don't know why they would pick this or why Emily would be like, yeah, that's fine, because it doesn't make sense because you're not the espresso martini girl, and it kind of is like, girl, we probably shouldn't be talking about food with your son. So there's that. Next is Heather's. Heather's is, I love life in the hills, so I always take the high road. No. Now we get it. She lives in Beverly Hills, but yeah, no. That's not no. Okay. Then you have Gina. I may work in real estate, but that doesn't mean I'm buying what you're selling. This would have been better last season because last season she had that whole argument with Jen about, making her look bad and things of that nature. Then she got into it with what's it called, Katie, because she felt like Katie was lying on her about the whole, you're only friends with Heather because you want to know her real estate connects and stuff. But this doesn't go for this season because we've hardly heard Gina reference real estate. I think she only said something about it in the first episode, the premiere episode for this season. So this doesn't track for me. So then we have Katie's. Katie's is, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but my truth. I would say this goes for her because she's definitely telling her truth, not the actual truth, if you ask me. And then you have Tamra. Tamra's is, I'm taking a hard look in the mirror and my reflection is still hot. Mm, no. Like I said, these taglines did not do it for me. But y'all let me know in the comments below what y'all feeling, okay? Who had a good tagline to you? Or if you could come up with better ones for the ladies, I would love to read them. So now let's get into a few interviews. So first up, let's talk about Heather. So this will be an update. Y'all know in my last spicy corner that we did, I think for episode 2, or maybe episode 1, I read off for you that there was a US Weekly article stating that Katie and Heather will probably not be back for season 20 of Real Housewives of Orange County. Well, Heather was on the Housewives nightcap, and the hostess Lauren ended up asking Heather, is it true that you are planning not to come back? And I want to play Heather's response for you guys.
The rumors that you might not be coming back.
I'd like to know who started that rumor.
Okay, so I don't know. I mean,
I didn't start the rumor. Bravo didn't start the rumor. Who started the rumor?
Who started the rumor?
I don't know.
All right, so
I promise you, if I'm going to leave again, you'll hear it from me.
Okay.
And there's no plans. I mean, I think we're all doing great.
I know, I was about to say, because I just talked to Gina and I asked her about the rumors.
But isn't that so crazy that someone could take like a little germ of something and just put it out there?
And then it
And
has
watch
spread
it,
like wildfire.
Let's just squash it here.
Okay, so no plans to leave?
No.
Real Housewives of Orange County?
No, unless there's something I don't know.
Unless Heather's like, I don't know, I'm get a phone call after this.
Yeah,
no,
I think we're good.
I'm glad because I love you back. It's so much fun. Gina also told me that you have a killer season this year.
Oh, I do?
I don't know. I mean, I was going to ask you. I was like, why is it a killer season?
You mean me personally?
Yes.
Oh.
She said you had a great season, and she's like, why would she leave after this?
Well, I'll tell you this. I felt like this was the first season since I've been back where no one was lying about me. That was refreshing.
This response from Heather makes sense to me because like I told y'all on the Spicy Corner, whether it's episode 1 or episode 2 Spicy Corner, when I read that excerpt from TV Deeds that they got from the US Weekly article, I said something to the effect of like, this feels like more of somebody's opinion instead of people getting like tea on the inside. Like, this is somebody's assumption after watching the entire season, because to me, it wouldn't make sense why Heather would leave the show, because like she said at the end, this is the first season in a while where nobody was telling lies about her. Because if you think about it, when she got back on season 16, she got into it real bad with Noella and Shannon. And so, you know, she got into a lot of people's bad side when it came to the situation between her and Noella. Then season 17, Tamra, Jen, and Taylor get on the show. And it was supposed to be Tamra going at Shannon, but then she did like a Uno reverse and started going after Heather, her and Shannon, basically saying that Heather was spreading all this bad information about John Jansen around the group. Then Heather fell out with Gina and Emily. And then you have, you know, Tamra going around saying that, oh girl, that paparazzi photo of them at Disney World was fake. Then we switched to season 18, where now you have Katie on the show, and Katie is saying that Heather was rude to her at Shannon's Christmas party. Then you also have her getting into it with Emily, and then you also have Katie bringing up the paparazzi photo saying that Heather lied. So this is technically the first season since she got back on the show where she doesn't seem to have any issues with anybody really, other than her just giving her opinion about what she sees and about the way the women are behaving and acting. So I don't think that she would leave the show now, if you ask me. So moving on, the next interview clip I want to do is of Heather with Ricky Cornish. He posted this the other day, and he said this on Twitter. Heather Dubrow is responding to the backlash surrounding the women ganging up on Katie Ginella. So let me play that clip for you guys.
Main storyline that everyone is pretty invested in right now is Katie's status with the rest of the women.
I saw some comments of people saying, oh, all the girls are ganging up on Katie. And when you really look at it, unfortunately, Katie brought much upon herself. She has very powerful convictions, and you believe her when she says, I did not do that. I did not speak to that person. And then you saw last week, then Katie went over to Tamra's house and said, oh, wait, I did do that. So when you lie so convincingly and then take it back and admit you actually did it, it makes the rest of the group not believe anything you say.
So I agree with Heather. The issue is that Katie keeps doubling down. And like Heather says, she keeps saying, I'm not doing these things. And she's so convincing. And then a few seconds or a few days later, she ends up saying, you know what? I did do that. If Katie would not lie, then we wouldn't be at this point. Like, I feel like Katie should have came into this season, and anytime they questioned her about something, she should have just told the truth. She should have been like, yeah, I talked to this person. Yeah, I talked to that person. Yeah, I sent her over there. And if they would have been like, why? I'd have been like, because you brought up my court case, something that was traumatic for me. You know, I was homeless. I didn't get to see my kids, and I wanted to hurt you the way you hurt me. Like, if she would just own it, I think the women would be able to move forward with her. The problem is anytime the women confront Katie about what she has done, she like doubles down on like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do that. And then a few seconds later, this thing about the whole like, did you record Shannon? She first says, I didn't do that. And then she admits it. Then the situation with Tamara, she tells Tamara, no, I didn't do it. And then 3 days later, you did do it. It's like, girl, just be honest. And then y'all can like wipe the slate clean and move forward. But the doubling down, you got to stop that, Katie. And I know it doesn't look great because you have these group of white ladies coming at this Asian woman, specifically this Korean woman, where we know that half of the cast is a part of that red hat gang. Okay? And maybe 1 or 2 people on that cast is liberal. Maybe, you know? So I'm just kind of like, yeah, Katie, it looks bad, but they do have legitimate reasons to bring up their concerns and their issues with Katie because Katie is lying. She got to stop lying. So the next interview we're going to talk about is Gina. So Gina was also on Housewives Nightcap, and she was asked about Katie, and her response was interesting. So let me play that clip.
That she's not going to come back next season.
Well, I don't make those decisions, you know.
There was a little sparkle in your eye right when I said that, though. I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I will say that I haven't seen her, you know, in a very long time. And I have no plans to see her. And I will say that, honestly, I'm sort of to the point where, you know, obviously that's above my pay grade. But, like, if she was to be a part of this group next year, I would seriously question whether I wanted to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's like where I'm at. It's like you have to make your decisions for you and your, you know, well-being, your health, your happiness. I can only control what I can control, but I can always control my decisions and who I want to be around, you know? And at the end of the day, we all have a choice. So that's how much I you know me, I can't just sit there for months and pretend like, all right, I gave her so many tries.
I don't understand why Gina would say this. Because, girl, people be hoping and praying and begging for Bravo not to bring you and Emily back. And I just don't understand why. Like, girl, don't give people a reason to want Katie to stay even more. And honestly, if Katie stays for season 20, Gina's definitely coming back because we know you need this check, girl. Mama, we know that you're like, that real estate salary is not paying for that house. Travis's real estate baby mama drama is not paying for that house. You need this check. I don't even know why Gina would fix her mouth to say this. So the last thing we're going to talk about is Shannon being on Watch What Happens Live. And I think, just 2 clips for you guys. So the first clip is Andy asking Shannon on Watch What Happens Live, do you want to hear the question that was most asked for you tonight? And she's like, sure. And it's about Katie. So let's get into that.
Do you want to hear the number 1 question for you?
Yes.
Why does it matter that Katie showed Alexis one of your meltdowns when you have meltdowns every season on national television?
Okay, well, let's look at last season. The only time I got upset was when I rightfully had the reason to. There were no meltdowns. I was very calm.
Shannon.
Last year? With
Last
Alexis,
season on the show?
Like, at London, I left, but I didn't say the usual, you know, all that kind of stuff that I used to do. I mean, I think that I'm a lot less reactive.
Okay.
And for all these girls to keep saying, I didn't have a meltdown that day. So let's just get the facts straight. But the bottom line is, Andy, doesn't matter what I did. It is in the state of California against the law to tape record someone in any capacity without their consent.
There you go.
So it doesn't matter what I did.
All right.
So here's the thing. I think what's getting lost in translation for a lot of people is that Katie recorded Shannon after the season had wrapped. I think that's what people are not understanding, is that when they did the gallery shoot for the season, that was at the end of the season. So in Shannon's mind, girl, this is a betrayal because you have seen the way that John and Alexis has terrorized me this entire season, and yet and still you recorded me and showed your husband and Alexis a table full of people, and that could have harmed me even more. So when Shannon said in the episode 3, where she's like, girl, you're on the same level as John and Alexis, it's like, yeah, girl, because they violated me and you're doing the same thing. So I don't think it's the same thing, because I also saw somebody bring up like Shannon recording Kelly Dodd when they were in Ireland. And to Shannon's point, production asked them to record and everybody could record each other. So there was an understanding that everybody knew that someone could pull out their phone at any time and record them and send it to production. Whereas Shannon didn't know anything about this. It all boils down to consent. And so the last clip I'm going to play for you guys is Shannon playing this game where she's supposed to be asking these grilled cheeses questions. So let me play that for you.
For each pal that pops up, grill him with the one question you are currently dying to ask them, starting with Katie. What's one question?
What's wrong with you?
Okay, next up is Tamra. That's a terrible picture of Tamra on a grilled
That's
cheese.
that's what her cast photo looks like.
Oh, okay. Okay. What would you ask her?
You don't surprise me anymore. So why do you keep doing what you're doing?
Okay, next up is Heather.
Did you have fun with me the other day?
Okay.
Filming the after show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up is Jen.
Jen, when are you getting married?
Okay. Next up is Emily.
Question. She was supposed to call me. I wish she would. Why didn't you call me?
Okay.
Some legal advice.
It's definitely giving that Shannon is going to be at odds with Katie and Tamra the entire season. And I'm starting to wonder if that's how it will be for the reunion. Like, will everyone have issues with Tamra and Katie? We definitely know Tamra is going to have issues with Katie, Jen, and Gretchen. And we know that it seems like Shannon is going to have issues with Katie. Possibly Emily and Gina will have issues with Katie. And then maybe Gretchen. Because I'm still wondering, based off of the super trailer where she was like, this is not fair, she's a liar, if she is talking about Tamra or Katie. Either way, it seems like those two women will be in the hot seat. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in the comments below, like the video, and subscribe. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.